Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. The other morning I was at a truck stop. It's right on the Missouri-Arkansas state line. It's been there forever. It's a barbecue joint. They got huge truck parking lot. Mostly older drivers pull in there because they don't have it just seems to appeal to the older drivers. But the restaurants always had really good food. They have a big round table, and I remember years ago, it was kind of like an unwritten rule. It was reserved for the Walmart drivers because of just the way the industry was at that time. They were up there with the freight haulers, the guys that drove for ABF and Yellow and Roadway. It was like their table, or the local farmers sat there. But anyway, there's always good conversation, good laughs, and it's just an era that I miss about trucking. Well, I was in there the other morning, and there was a loudmouth fool. It's just about the best way to describe it. This guy talked about everything, had a potty mouth, but when you listened to him, he didn't know half of what he was talking about, but he sure made it sound like he knew what he was talking about. And I texted a friend of mine that drives up in North Dakota. He just drives locally now. He doesn't drive over the road. And we always laugh about the guys that sit at the counter in the truck stops and talk about how great they drive and how many miles they cover. And it's just the counter was always the where the guys that talked crap was set. And it was good entertainment, free entertainment, and you just kind of chuckle as you listen to them, because if you listen to them long enough, they would contradict what they'd said earlier, and I don't think they caught it, but it was good entertainment. Those days are gone, but that the other morning brought back memories, and I just chuckled. I had to send him a text. I said, yep, the BS drivers, they're still out here. They're far and few in between, but they're still out here. They're still worth the laugh. And what I didn't care for was his potty mouth, because the waitress, why does she need to hear that? But I noticed in society now, people do that without even thinking about it. Even women out in public. 10 years ago, you would never hear that. 20 years ago, especially. But now, it's like the norm, and if you say something, they'll pounce on you for being, the speech police. So it's just the way things are. Somebody asked me about the rules in trucking. I said, there's been a lot of changes over the course of my career, and I feel like the majority of them were none for the better. They just hampered my ability to make a decent living. And you just learn to work within the rules to make it work. In Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, verses 1 and 2, it says this: guard your steps as you go to the house of God and draw near to listen, rather than to offer the sacrifice of fools. For they do not know they are doing evil. Do not be hasty in word or impulse in thought to bring up a matter in the presence of God. For God is in heaven, and you are on the earth. Therefore, let your words be few. We can make a choice in how we go about our lives each and every day. We can be like that fool I heard at the truck stop the other day. Talked about a lot of topics, didn't know a lot about what he was talking about. I think he was just talking to hear himself talk, and the waitress, I got the impression she wasn't too impressed with him because of the way she answered him. Oh, yeah. And then I'm sure after she left, she's like, geez, I'm glad he's gone. But like I said, we get to choose how we go about our day. And the choices we make reflect on who we are a lot of times without even saying a word. In that, if you're someone who's very polite and mannerly, you can do that without ever saying a word, opening the door, for somebody, or, just about how you go about carrying yourself. So as you go through the day today, which person would you rather be remembered as? The fool that has a potty mouth and talks about everything, but in reality doesn't know anything? Or the guy who's quiet and humble and polite and courteous? And a lot of times those guys, those people, know more than they let on, because they're not out to upstage anyone. They're the ones that when something gets asked and nobody knows the answer, they're like, I know the answer. And you're stunned because, well, you think, well, this guy, he's never said a word. How does he know this? But like I said, it's in how you carry yourself. And that's what I like about this first line in the first verse. Guard your steps as you go to the house of God, and draw near to listen rather than offer the sacrifice of fools. Which one are you today?